they'll be kicking it off. Top 3 podium finishers from the 250 class today. We will do the 450 guys after that. And then from there, I'll ask them all a question, go through everything, and then I'll open up to the media. There is a raise hand option you'll see here in your Zoom, so please feel free to use that, and then I can go through and get you guys go through the order and ask the questions that you need. So we'll start with, I believe Jeremy is on here.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Right, great. So we'll start with Jeremy. Great day for you, man. A good 3-2 to get the overall win. You're up front all day long. Obviously, it's your first win since you came back from your injury, which is a huge accomplishment, I'm sure, for yourself. And really, it was a wild day. I think we can all agree. The track was unique. The weather created a very difficult track for all of you. I don't think today was just a wild day. And just kind of take us through your day. Tell us what it feels like to finally get back on the box, on top of the box. You're right in the thick of the championship right now. Just take us through your day and how it was for you.
Yeah, so just taking you through my day, obviously, it was, I knew it was going to rain. I knew it was going to be muddy, but I was actually pleasantly surprised that when I went out for practice, it was nowhere near as muddy or as crazy as it was the first Loretta's. So I was pretty happy about that. And then they were saying a thunderstorm was coming at 2. And then all of a sudden it just monsooned on us basically for like 20 minutes right before Moto 1. And I was like, oh boy, this is going to be gnarly. And sure enough, it was. I mean, I got halfway down the start straight and I couldn't see nothing going into the first turn. And I didn't know how to, I'm like, dude, where do I turn? So I just had so much water in my goggles and stuff. So I was able to get through there. And I went down twice in the first moto, like once a halfway and then once with like 3 or 4 laps to go. And I somehow managed, I had 1 glove off, 1 glove on, no goggles, and I managed a third somehow. I was like pretty blown away. So going into Moto 2, I was happy at least I got third in the first moto. And then, Alex was going really, really fast for sure. And I was just like, I knew that Dylan and the guys and RJ weren't around me because I was kind of watching my pit board with Derek. And I went into full on. I just did the best I could. I knew Alex was going fast and I just conserved the bike as best as I could. And the thing was smoking so bad. I was like, I hope to God I can make this. And sure enough, I did. And I was able to get the overall and, not a win today, but as far like a moto win, but got the overall. And that was a big deal. And it's been a long road to get back to a top step of the podium.
Awesome. We'll move on to Dylan. Dylan, you posted 2 4 scores to get second overall. Just missed out on getting that another win there. Your second moto, you had to do work. Started 20th. Kind of were buried in the pack. I think you said you went down. You had your work cut out for you, but you managed to get through. Considering the conditions and everything, take us through your day and what it was like to kind of have to work through the pack the way you had to in such difficult conditions in that second moto.
It was a wild day, honestly. It was a real muddy day. Like Jeremy said, was not bad as what we expect. Like when we all saw the rain on Friday, we were like, okay, it's gonna be horrible. And finally, the track was really, was not that bad. I mean, we had a really good condition for racing. And first moto, we had this incident between lunch where I went to drain a little bit the water on after the gate, and someone saw me do that and report to the AMA, and they penalized me they docked me of 20 position on the gate. So it was really unfortunate. Of course, it is the rules, and I accept it. So I had a really bad gate pick, and managed to start a medium start, and fight with all the guy, and came back front and had a small crash and lose a lot of time, and then I came back on the last 2 laps on RG. But the guys my team were asking me to save the bike, so try to not really push too much on the engine, and to for sure finish the race, because when in that condition it's really important to do good. But like we said, it's important to finish first, but first we have to finish. So the first moto was okay for me with the second place. And second moto, I had a not okay start, but I crashed at the third corner. I was really wild, people everywhere, and a lot of mud. And I don't really know what happened. I just washed the front in the mud and crashed. So start way back in the back, and I pushed really hard all the moto, and I was a little bit frustrated on the podium because we made a small change between the two motos with the team, and it was absolutely not the way we should do it, and yeah, that I was not feeling comfortable with the bike. I mean, I lose traction with what we changed, and yeah, traction was really important today, and yeah, my bike in second moto was not that good that in first moto, and so I kind of lost some time here and here with that, and yeah, came back from behind, and didn't help too, and manager 2 and 4 was still a good day. We leave with a red plate, which is the main goal, and yeah, two race down, 7 to go.
Awesome. And then Alex, we'll move on to you. Gritty day for you. 7-1, third overall. You made it look easy in that second moto, but that first moto, you were there. You were where you wanted to be. Obviously, things didn't go the way you wanted. Looking back at it now, are you kind of kicking yourself a little bit knowing how the second moto went? And, you were still right there. You had the win was there for you to take overall. It was up to the other guys and what they were going to do. But you had it, and, just had a rough first moto. Kind of take us through your day.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's a little bittersweet, I guess, with the first moto. I mean, I literally was in first right away there, right after the 10 Commandments. I think I got around McElrath. And then I just kind of came into that corner, sliding, and then I hooked up on the dozer berm, and I almost looped out, and my hand blew off the bar, and I tipped over. And I was just like, you got to be kidding me. I've literally crashed every moto at Loretta's so far. The first Loretta's, went 5.5, but speed-wise, I was much better than that. That was a little frustrating. So that first moto, like Jeremy and Dylan said, we were sitting there, and practice was pretty good. And I was like, man, this actually could be a really nice racetrack today. And then it had to rain 2 or 3 inches in 20 minutes before that first moto. And I think everyone on the start line in the 250 class was just kind of like, oh, well, there goes that. And so it was, it was nice to get the whole shot, but then, yeah, I crashed 3 more times. And I think the nail in the coffin, and they might have showed it on TV, but I tried to take a different line in the mechanics area. And I just tipped over, but my bike was stuck in the mud. And I think my lap time, that lap was a 4:59. So I was down for a minute and a half, 2 minutes. And once I got going, honestly, I can't believe I got 7th in that first moto. I was on the ground so much. And then, so yeah, second moto, just came out swinging and got the whole shot. And I didn't really know that I had that big of a lead. I mean, I think I saw the final result, I won by 1 minute and 3 seconds. That's just insane to me. Lee, actually, my mechanic Lee put on the pit board with a couple laps to go +2. And I kind of thought, maybe I only had a 2-second gap on second. So, I dropped the hammer real quick, trying to, put up a gap or something. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to lead 14 or 15 laps and give this up now. But I'm just thankful, honestly, that I kept it on 2 wheels. That track was absolutely very challenging and treacherous. Yeah, and I just hope that we have a dry race coming up. I think we're definitely due after 2 weekends of mud, but no, I mean, it feels really good to get the JGR Suzuki guys up on the podium. They work hard, and honestly, a lot of people say things about the Suzuki, but it's a good bike, and I'd like to think that we proved that today, getting it up on the top step of the podium in the moto, and, definitely getting some much-needed championship points on those guys.
Cool. Open up to the media. Cooksey, you can go ahead.
So, Dylan, you look extremely confident this year, and it's been reported that you've signed a deal with Yamaha for the 450 for next year. My question is, does that help having that off your back? And then can you share any details about that deal?
I can't talk about next year yet. I will soon, but right now I just can't talk about it. But yeah, regarding the confidence, I win 2 titles, so it's a big monkey off the shoulder. It's I'm happy with my career right now. I'm happy with the result this year, so there is no pressure, and we work really hard during the break, and the bike is awesome. My physical program and my training is really good, and we work really hard. So just it's everything that I say that gave me that confidence, and yeah, just I think I have a lot of experience now, and I can really be smart on the decision and smart on what the race gave to me. So this today, like for example, that's a stupid mistake I did with the gate, with prepping the gate before and got the dog with position. Like I say, okay, it's fine, no problem. And then the second motor I crashed at the start. Okay, it was no problem. Okay, let's go. And yeah, it's just I'm at the point of my career where I'm happy. I'm happy about what I do. I'm happy about the bike, and I'm just happy about everything. And I'm doing the job in a week, and I walk, and yeah, I don't know. I just feel good to be at the race. Feel good to do what I'm paid for, and yeah, that's only all of these that give me the confidence and yeah, also the speed on the race. We saw it again today. It's good, so there is no problem at all.
And then Alex, I'm sure it wasn't funny for you, but on TV, they had you throwing your arms up and you were saying something in that first moto to somebody over in the mechanics. Who were you talking to and what were you saying?
I was looking directly at the MX Sports guy. I forget, like Justin Starling's dad or something. And I was like, please, God, help me pick up my bike. Because it was stuck in the mud. And we're like 25 minutes in the moto. And I'm like, it's stuck. And like, there was no way. I mean, you could have given me an hour to get the bike out and I would have never done it. Like, I needed help. And I was just like, come on. I'd worked so hard. I think I got up to 5th before that last tip over. And I wasn't like 30th at the beginning of the moto. So I was just like, please help me. So it was just a lot of frustration and like pleading, honestly.
Awesome. Thanks. Great job.
All right. Johnny, go ahead.
Hey guys, this is Johnny Hopper with Cooksey Media and MX Unfiltered. Dylan, this question's for you. I bet you thought you left Europe to get away from the mud, but I do know the word on the street is you're one of the only riders that is plant-based. Do you think that improves your performance as far as your nutrition goes?
Yeah, for sure. I left the Europe a little bit for the bad condition that we had there sometime, but it was not really the main reason. But yeah, I expect to have less mud race in the US, but this is a little bit. I mean, you never know. But regarding what I eat, yeah, I'm plant based, yeah, and I mean, I feel great doing this. Mentally also, I feel really great doing this, and yeah, I don't know if it's helped me a lot or not, but I think it's more the work that I put it every week and during the winter. Yeah, I feel really great doing this. We I think there is a lot of proof that doing that is great for the body. So I don't know, not much to say. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist, so I can't really much say about this. But yeah, that's what I'm doing, and I'm proud to do it, and it worked great.
Thank you, Dylan.
Yep.
Alex, this one's for you. Just personally, do you think if you wouldn't have gone down in that first moto, do you think you would have won the overall? I mean, it was only a 3-point swing at the end of the day.
I mean, what would I 4th in the first moto? Would that have gotten me the overall with the 4-1?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it would have.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I wasn't 5th at the time, and I mean, it's hard to say, like, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Like, I mean, ultimately I crashed 3 times and my bike was stuck in the mud and I needed help to get it going. So, but I do feel like if I hadn't tipped over the first time, like, it could have potentially been a 1-1 day. Obviously the way the track was, that's not our normal conditions, but I mean, I guess I would take it. And I mean, I think potentially I could have been in contention for the overall, but I mean, that's on me. I messed up, and at least I was able to come out with a moto win in the second moto.
Gotcha. Thanks, guys.
Cool. Dan, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll stick with Alex. Alex, I mean, if ever there was a trophy for roughest year for a team, you guys would probably be points leaders at this point. How big is this win, the moto win, and overall podium for the team, and what's the mood been like up to this point?
Well, it depends. If you're a regular Vital Forum cruiser, then it looks like it's really bad for JGR. But, you know, and for my respect, I mean, I get my paycheck every month. I always have great practice bikes, and then, you know, I rotate engines every 12 hours or whatever, new suspension. So, like, I mean, my program's pretty dialed, and JGR's been more than accommodating and making sure I have what I need to continue training and be at my best. So, but absolutely, like this result, you know, and even Freddie Norton getting a fourth in the first moto, you know, the goal, I guess, is just to get Suzuki's excited to support the American motocross program. I mean, they have no GP program. And you know, it just, our sport's too small to not have backing from one of the main manufacturers. And as you saw today, I mean, it's capable of winning and it's a great bike. And, you know, hopefully that they will come on board next year and, you know, give us a little bit more help.
Nice. Congrats on the ride. And for Dylan, you know, during Supercross, you got in trouble a few times. I've noticed you've been really patient.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Yeah, Dan, I think we're gonna have to. Connection seems off. I'm gonna mute you right now. We'll come back to you. Raise your hand again. You can get that figured out.
Kind of what you've been given, is that you're consciously making a decision to patiently get. Okay, sounds good.
Cool. Guy B, go ahead.
First off, Alex, I'll just apologize for some of our forum members. But Jeremy, up on the podium, how confusing was it? You know, we went through one round of awards where Dylan got the overall, and what was going through your head, and were you trying to do all the math? What was happening there?
Well, I mean, I'll be the first one to admit I'm not the smartest cat, but I was like, I'm pretty sure Dylan went 2-3 and I went 3-2, and I'm like, the better second moto will beat it, and then I'll get the overall, you know. And I was like, I'm pretty sure I got it, because I celebrated like I got it. And I was just like, dude, if you didn't win it, you're a knob, you know. So you know, I was fortunate enough with a little bit of a hiccup there, but we got it all under control. And then yeah, it's, as long as it's right on paper, that's all that matters, right?
Yep, that works for me. Alex, what's the deal on the starts? You know, you had some killer starts today.
To be honest, I mean, I guess I can, you know, spill the secret. I'm like so stoked that Ferrandis and Jeremy and some of the guys didn't go on that first gate pick on the inside, because, you know, you looked out on the start gate, first moto, and it's just downpouring rain, and there was a massive puddle to the right on the inside, like directly in my gate. And my plan was just to get to that puddle first and try and spray everyone else. And it actually worked out both motos. Like, I was surprised. You know, I know Dylan was probably thinking go outside and he could maybe get around that puddle. But, I mean, it was so deep out there. I was just kind of, you know, ultimately that gate was kind of the shortest distance to the first turn. And you just had to get to that puddle first. And I think there's a photo going on Instagram right now of me, like, splashing RJ. And I mean, that was a lot of water in that straightaway. So I'm glad I was able to avoid that.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Dan, you want to try again?
Yeah, are we good now?
Yeah.
All right, Dylan, during Supercross, you got in kind of trouble with being impatient and finding yourself in a bad spot. During motocross this year, for the first 4 motos, you've been really patient at getting to the front and kind of taking what's been given to you. Is that something you've consciously worked on?
Yes and no. Like I said before, you know, winning these 2 titles in Supercross give me a lot of confidence on myself, and also a lot of experience, and that's helped a lot. But it's also because outdoors moto are way much more longer, and you always have the time. As long as you're not 35 on lap 1, you have the time to get back and yeah, finish strong on a moto when everybody's tired. So I don't know. I just feel like it's gonna be a long. I mean, it's a short season, but it's not gonna be so short. Like, it's still 9 races. We still have to manage. There will be a lot of races in a row where you have to manage your body. So yeah, I just feel like there is no rush. And also the fact that I did 1-1 last weekend. Like, now I already built a small gap on points that make me be more safe too.
Nice. I'll stick with you for one more. I know it feels good to be the fastest qualifier, and I know the French you guys are proud athletes. in sportsmen. Does it add a little extra level of pride when you see you and Marvin on top, either in qualifying or overall in the races or moto wins?
Did you get that, Dylan?
Did we lose me again?
Yeah, say again, please. I'm sorry.
He's basically asking, do you have an extra sense of pride when you and Marvin are up front, doing well in qualifying, doing well in the races, being proud Frenchmen? Does that make you feel extra sense of pride knowing Marvin is doing well in 450 just like you are on 250?
No, I'm not. I'm not proud French or whatever when I do good or whatever. I race for me. I race for the people that I represent. And like if I win, I'm not like, yeah, I won for France, for Team France or whatever. I live in the US now for 4 years, so I mean, I live here now. I'm not American, but I live here, so I kind of put this behind me a little bit without being anything negative. But it's just, yeah, I race for the championship. I race for the win, and that's all matters for me. And for sure, I like when Marvin do good, but I mean, I can control it, and he do what he can too. So when he don't do good, I'm still looking at what happened, and I mean, there's to him being French or not doesn't make any difference. We had a good relationship, and yeah, I just like the rider, and I mean, not only the rider, but I like the rider. Like I like a lot of rider, and yeah, no, the being French doesn't make a big difference.
That's fair. Thanks, Dylan.
Cool.
Yeah, thanks, Jason from RacerX. Alex, how far back were you in the first moto when you fell in that dozer berm? How far back did you have to come from?
I think I was around 30th or something at that time. I mean, it's hard to say, I guess, because I just got up and I was muddy, and I don't know. I look back and there wasn't many people behind me, but I know I was down long enough where definitely in most of the field passed me. So.
Were you surprised to move that far forward? I mean, you were in the top 10. Didn't take that long. Were you surprised to how many guys you got by so quickly?
Yeah, kind of actually. Like Lee was pitboarding me, and I mean, it's pretty challenging just to look at the pitboard in that straightaway. But I saw like 3 or 4 laps in, I was like 15th, and I was like, okay, wow. And then next lap was like 10th, and then it was like 5th not long after, and I was like, okay. I mean, it was total carnage and chaos with people weeding up everywhere, and you know, bikes smoking and stuff like that. So obviously a lot of people kind of handed it to me, but yeah, it definitely gave me some confidence going into the second moto, knowing that like speed wise, I was able to come that far up.
For what it's worth, Alex, you came around and completed the first lap at 23rd. So however many guys you passed from the moment you fell to then, you know, you can kind of gauge where you maybe were.
Okay. Sweet.
You started the year off, you had one good moto at Hangtown last year, but it really wasn't until like mid-season that it seemed like you really came on. Do you feel you're better and ahead of where you were when you started 2019, Alex?
Oh, absolutely. I think just second year on the bike, understanding how the Suzuki chassis works, and you know, the JGR guys, we've done a good job. I think Dean Baker, like, he's found some serious HPs out of the motor, and just getting the chassis better. And you know, I felt really good. And even in Supercross, like, we didn't get any podiums, but we had a lot of top 5s. And obviously Utah didn't go our way with some crashes, and I fractured my sacrum tailbone, and that still kind of bugs me. That's probably going to be something that's going to bug me for a year or so. But it was just frustrating the way this whole year has worked with the COVID situation. And I mean, we're like end of August, so we're only into our second round of outdoor nationals. I felt like really good right from January, and you know, we kind of have just had to wait around and hope to go racing. So I'm glad that we're back racing, and I'm happy to get some results already at the second round. And yeah, I think it definitely shows that we're in a better spot this year than last year.
All right, thanks, Alex. And I got one for Jeremy. We didn't obviously see normal conditions today, but did you feel like during the week or coming into the weekend that you had made some progress once you got a race under your belt last weekend?
Yeah, definitely. I felt better this weekend. I mean, I made an adjustment before the series even started, the week before, on a shock change. And I thought it'd be a little bit better for hard pack conditions and stuff like that, because I was doing a bunch of local riding at my parents and stuff, and the track was really, really rough. But the way the bumps form at a local level are so much different than a national. And when I raced on the weekend, the first Loretta's, I was like, oh, I made a big mistake. You know, I knew it right away, but I just had to get through the weekend. And then I went back to the old OG shock that I had, and I was like, yeah, okay, you know, this is definitely ready for this shock's more for a national style track. So just a little lesson to be learned there. And yeah, I mean, the guys are good. Dylan's really, really fast. He's smart. So it's gonna be tough, but I'm looking forward to the challenge, and I just love being at the races.
Cool. I think this will be our last one. We're getting close to the 8:30 for the 450 guys. Alex, Gobert, I'll let you go. Mitch, sorry, maybe we'll get you first for the 450 guys.
Yeah, thank you. Alex Gobert, Moto Online. This one's for Jeremy. Just wanted to obviously, congratulate you on the win today. To start the season, you've had four race podiums, so top 3 every single time. As a former champion, how important is it to start the season like that? And then, obviously, you know, just especially considering the conditions at Loretta's.
Yeah, I mean, I think to be able to manage, like you said, for the conditions of Loretta's 1 and Loretta's 2, they were both pretty muddy and they were really gnarly, like just ruts and the whole day of everything. So to be able to get on the podium for all 4 motos so far is definitely a big deal. And when you're battling a guy like Dylan, you have to he keeps you on your toes, you know. So it's not just it's a war for sure. And kind of reminds me like when I was battling Marvin back in 2015.
All right, cool. Is that it? All right. Thank you, 250 guys. Appreciate it. Congrats to all of you, and good luck next week. We'll hopefully talk to you again.